For the latest top tips, reviews and advice, please subscribe below.
Hello and welcome to Attwoolls Outdoors with me, Mike. Today I'm giving you a bit of a video review on a very exciting product from Opus. So here today I've got the Opus Smart Air Gazebo. So the Smart Air Gazebo is actually kind of a bit different to what we've seen on the other market. Basically it's got a complete built-in self-inflating pump to it. So Opus has been known for their kind of top-end product, and we've seen with their tent collection they've done and their whole range campers. So they are used to doing very premium product at great, it's all about quality and functionality, and they've got some unique things built into their parts, and they also have the actual patents on having a pump inside of a tube in the way it works. So again, it's quite unique to them in many ways. What we see with a Smart Gazebo is basically we've got a 3 by 3 meter structure, which has a height of 245 at the very top. So it's incredibly tall at the top, but a good sort of 3 by 3 space. I see this being used not only for kind of more camping trips, but you can use it in the garden, you can use it for sports days, you can use it for anything really. It's an all-purpose kind of gazebo. It comes completely in, with complete size, all zipped in, and there's also a ground sheet in there which can actually Velcro in and Velcro out, so you can have the option of having grass down, or if you wanted that more sealed structure, that's when you look at like with this. What you find is there's 2 mesh panels, so they are opposite sides of each other, and 2 window panels which are PVC. Both have curtains, so if you want to get complete seal and privacy, you can do so quite happily. The way it actually pumps up is you've got 2 Boston valves on either side, so it's easy to get the air in and out. If you wanted to use a manual pump, you do have to buy it additionally. Or failing that, they do have this little kind of cartridge capsule. Now this actually is a 300 milliamp battery. Now this is what actually you will pop into the inflation point, located there. You pop that in there, press a button, and it'll inflate itself. So you can see from my own Attwoolls pitching and packing video I've done it, took around about sort of 7-8 minutes to pitch, and I've literally, apart from pegging it down, putting that in and pressing the button, you don't do a whole lot else, you know. Once it's physically up, you may need to help it get up into shape just by popping up inside, but it's probably one of the most stringless pitching videos I think I've ever done, really, in that point of view. So it's one of the points anyone can do it. Weighs about 15 kilograms in terms of its overall pack size. It gives you a nice oversized bag as well, and that's where, again, I think I see the future of this being a lot easier. And I wouldn't expect, watch your space with Opus as well, they always come up with quirky little new things. But in terms of the materials, what we're looking at here, actually they use a 150 denier material, so good, strong, resilient fabric. Runs at 4,000 mil hydrogen head, so obviously very waterproof. We've got storm straps, webbing straps, like a 2-point part on the main 4 corners. On the base of the points are little loops as well, so elasticated loops, and we've got webbing straps on the main 4 corners again at the bottom point. Now, other accessories you can add to this, you have the option of adding Opus windbreaks. So there's a zip on here, so you can actually directly attach windbreaks in to create your own little enclosure. Again, perfect for those sort of festivals or sports days events. The panels, like I said, have zip curtains behind them, so you can get ultimate privacy. With the full mesh door, that's going to help with airflow. So if you have a light on there, you want to cook inside of it, for example, on a night, you haven't got to worry about the bugs and that stuff coming in. One thing they also do with the door sections as well, the doors can sort of zip and open up fully. So if you want it basically just a roof section, you can more than happily do that. The door panels also have a clip point. So what you can actually do is, if you want to, you can engage this clip. So it creates a kind of almost like a hinge, if you will. And then you can actually it will then toggle back and you can clip it back to the door. And this is the same for any of the doors itself. So then you've almost got you kind of halfway entrance in. So again, the same thing, really quite smart in that sense. The ground sheet itself actually kind of velcros in and out, so you can have it so it's kind of grass down there, where you've got corner points to get the tension to it. And because you've got this kind of overlap flap, it makes it feel like a sewn in ground sheet, but again, you've got the flexibility of having that point. There is a hanging point for a lantern located in the center of here, but I'll bring the camera in just a moment. What I want to firstly show you is when you want to obviously get the privacy, what you can then do is, I say, is just zip the window panels up. So very easy, very simple, but you get a real nice coverage like so. And again, when you want the lights naturally in, it can roll down, and he's got a toggle point located at the very bottom of the window. There's 3 points again because there's a nice sort of width. I think 3x3 as a structure is the perfect kind of balance between sort of space and sort of being big enough without being too big. But the functionality is what I really do like on here. Other things you've got to mention is actually the point that inflates it. There is a pocket located down here, which you can run Opus's light system. So you can run the light system in here, so that way you can be completely remote, have power, and you haven't got to worry about anything else. Let's bring the camera a bit closer and have a look at this, shall we? So we'll do a little kind of walk round to start with. So you can see that's the panel. You can see Archie on there. It's been crinkled up a little bit, but it will fall out with a bit of heat. But the overall kind of size of it works really well. And then when you want your blank panels, as we come there, so that's also the next mesh panel. So we can see how it looks when the windows are fully done up. We've also got the inflation point for the battery. Literally sits into there. There's a little chamber at the top which the battery pack just goes into. So it goes into that slot there, and that's a little button point that you can just press that to get it going. And when you've got, if you want a manual override, you've got your normal kind of Boston valves are located in there as well. As you come inside, you've got, apart from Archie's Frisbee, like I said, you've got that's the little clip points I was mentioning, which create the little hinge door, so you can probably see that a bit better on that side. There is a hanging point for a lantern located right at the top there as well. What you also do have is this little bit of, let's get a focus on this here. A little bit of, that's the point for the lighting. So you can buy the Opus lights that fit into there. It's the ones that you do for tents lights, so you can run that. We have 2 lights positioned in there, or 1 light, and basically you can run down to a little sort of storage pocket. So in here is where the battery would live. So you can just pop that in there and run anything else off it. The battery pack in particular has a separate kind of, you have a basic in port and out port. So again, you can run lights and charge it up. It comes with a 3-pin socket and then like a USB-C adapter. And again, what we sort of mentioned is, like I said, the door with the ground sheet. This whole section can come completely out if you really want it to, or you can say Velcro it back into the corners. And because you get that kind of seal, it works really well. But I think, yeah, it's quite a, like, I think for me, it's the headroom height in here. The head height in here is pretty boastful. Like I said, you've got a really nice tall part, and even with, say, like a table and chairs in there, you've never got too much room. I think, on the whole, it's well made. It's got a lot of talking points to it. It sits well. The pitching, like I said, for me is the absolute cherry on the cake. Couldn't be any easier to pitch than anything. So it's functional. It's well made. I don't think again it's too expensive. I mean, naturally, Opus, because you're buying the technology with the pump and all that lot. Naturally, you pay a little bit more for that. But for 150 denier, especially when you think of the sides are all built into it as well, like I said, you can just zip them, as previously mentioned, kind of fully open. And there are kind of toggle points located back, so you can sort of pin them back. So you have got a lot of flexibility on that front. So I think for me, it just ticks a big box. Like the look of it, like the design of it. Again, big, chunky, oversized zips as well. Just these little details just make a big difference. But yeah, so I mean, for any more questions or queries, feel free to follow the link below the video. It'll take you through to the website. We've got more information on things like pack sizes, floor dimensions, individual features all there as well as our pitching video we've done, and latest pricing and offering we are offering on the Opus Smart Gazebo. I hope it's been helpful, and we look forward to seeing you next time in our Attwoolls Outdoors either tutorial videos or our video reviews.